Good morning and welcome back to our channel. This morning I'm going to be talking to you on how to prevent tear stains and how to treat tear stains if you have them. Now this applies to all breeds, not just Shih Tzus, but any breeds that are prone to getting tear stains. You can do these same steps to help prevent them. As always, it is easier to prevent tear stains than it is to treat them. But if you have tear stains already, then you can do some of these things that I will suggest to help to get rid of the tear stains. And it does work. I will tell you though that it takes a lot of diligence. It takes a lot of work, a lot of commitment to do it, and it's hard. It's not easy. So the first thing that, I want to say is this is Miss Stacey, and I'll give you a little bit of an update on her. She is 7 months old. So I know that some of you have been with us on our channel from the beginning, and you can see that she is growing up very nicely. She weighs about 9.5 pounds. So I think that she is almost full grown. Her breeder said that she would be about 10 to 12 pounds, but probably around the 10-pound mark. And I am thinking that will probably be correct. She'll probably be 10.5 pounds because Shih Tzus kind of stop growing at around 7 or 8 months old, especially the Shih Tzus from her breeder. So she's doing really well. She's a good girl, and we're working on a couple of issues. Walking on the leash is one of them. She hates to walk on the leash. So I'm actually going to get her trainer back out to help me with that, because I have tried everything and she just does not want to walk for me. So I think she's just being a little diva. But anyway, she is doing really, really good. She's a really good puppy. Okay, so back to the tear stains. The first thing that you need to do when you have a dog that is prone to tear staining is to keep the face clean and dry. The main thing is keeping it dry. So the first thing that you should do is to take away the dog bowls out of your house and use water bottles. If you have a dog that has a long beard and long facial hair like a Shih Tzu, so not for all breeds, but just breeds that like a Shih Tzu or a Yorkie or a Maltese, any breeds that have this hair around their face, I suggest using a water bottle instead of a water bowl. That way they can just lick from the bottle and they don't put their face down into the bowl, which gets all of this all wet. It is impossible to keep that dry if they are going to drink, because you can dry it and then they go to drink one time and it gets all wet again. So that is my suggestion for that. For dogs like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, they make spaniel bowls, and my favorite place to get spaniel bowls is spanielbowls.com, and those work great for Cavaliers because all you really have to keep out of the bowl are their ears. They don't have all of the hair around their mouth, and so they can drink out of spaniel bowls, and that will keep their ears from getting into the water. But so using a water bottle on breeds such as this is a major, major thing. Also, in the water bottle, I highly suggest that you use bottled water. And you don't want to use distilled water, and you don't want to use spring water. So you just want to use purified water. And it's just purified drinking water. And that is what we use in all of our water bottles. Here is the purified drinking water. So water that you get from your city might have minerals in them that will stain the fur. So this way, if you use the purified water, you don't have to worry about that. And it's pretty inexpensive. Here I get a gallon jug for $1. So it's not very expensive at all. So that's the first thing. The second thing, like I said, is to keep the face dry. Well, I will back up. The second thing is, if you have a dog that is tearing a lot, then you will want to follow up with your vet and have a good vet visit. If you have a dog ophthalmologist in your area, I highly suggest bringing your dog to a specialist. It's usually not that much more, but they can run more extensive testing to see what the problem is, because they have all of the equipment needed for that. For example, Harper is our Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and she tears terribly. And even though I know what to do and know how to prevent and clear up the tear stains, she gives me a run for my money with that, because she does have a medical problem with her eyes. So it's really difficult because her eyes just pour water out constantly. So if you have a dog that is like that, sometimes, you do the best that you can, but doing all of the steps that I'm telling you will definitely help. But in Harper's case, her eyes, her tear ducts are actually blocked. And that is a common problem, and that can be a problem that can be easily fixed by clearing out the tear ducts, and the ophthalmologist can do that. But in Harper's case, her conformation of her face makes it to where the tear ducts are like getting blocked by the bone in her face. So there's nothing that the ophthalmologist can do to really unclog it unless he does like a major extensive surgery, and we are not even sure that that would help, because she does have distichia, which is some ingrown eyelashes, and those can be freezed off. So that's another surgery that can be done. Also, if your dog has entropion, which is an inward rolling of the eyelid, that can cause tearing. So there are several medical conditions that can cause tearing. So you want to get all of that checked out if you have a dog that tears excessively. Now, it is common for dogs to tear when they are teething, and so if you have a puppy and they're tearing, you might want to get it checked out to check the tear ducts, because that, like I said, that is common. But a puppy does tear a little bit more when they are going through that teething stage. Okay, so the next step to preventing and treating tear stains is to keep the face dry. Now, the one thing that you can look at on my channel is the daily morning routine video, and that goes through how I clean Stacey's face every morning to prevent tear stains on her. And you can see that she does not have any tear stains. She is being so lazy. She goes to sleep up here. She likes her grooming table. But she doesn't have any tear stains, but that is only because I do a daily morning routine with her every single day. Every day. I don't miss. So it does take time. It does take commitment, but it can be done. Now, in that video, what I use are these products here. I use the Show Off No Rinse Face Wash for stains to clean her face, as well as the Henry Shine Tear Stain Remover. After I dry her face with the blow dryer, I apply this Paw Marks drying powder, and that keeps the face dry by absorbing any moisture that the eyes drip from. So that is in that morning video, daily morning routine, so you can check that out to see exactly how I do that. So that is the main key, is to keeping it dry. Sometimes during the day, I will have to use the drying powder again, because she will get wet underneath her eyes a little bit. And so I will just, comb it out and use the drying powder to get it dry again. The reason why you want to keep the fur dry is because when it stays wet, a yeast, or a red yeast, starts to grow, and that's actually what you see as the tear stains, is the red yeast. This also applies to their paws. So If you have a dog that is licking their paws and keeping their paws wet all the time, some dogs you'll see that'll have that red staining on their paws. That is because if they're licking their paws, then it's staying wet, the red yeast is growing, and you have a problem, the same thing on the face. So if you have a dog that is licking their paws, that is a sign of an allergy usually. So if you follow up with your vet and try to get that under control, then you can keep those paws nice and white as well. Another thing that helps us with staining, and this is not necessarily tear staining, but more so staining on the feet, because you can see that Stacey's feet are nice and snow white, and I love them that way. But the reason why is because she doesn't go outside to potty. Now, I know that this is not for everyone. Some people totally disagree with indoor pottying on potty pads, but I am a very particular person when it comes to my dogs. I want them looking beautiful at all times. And if she would go outside and get her feet wet, it would be very, very difficult to keep these paws looking very, very white like they are, because then you would have to come inside, dry the paws, put the drying powder on, and I just don't have time for that. So for me, it is easier for me to have them go potty inside. And I have all small dogs, so it works for me. It works for us, it works for our lifestyle, and it keeps their paws nice and clean and dry. And then when we go outside to walk, if I could ever get her to walk on a leash, we just walk on the cement and we don't go in the grass. So this little diva has not touched grass at all. But she's not really a dog, right? Nah, she's not a dog. So anyway, that is my take on tear stains, how to prevent them, how to treat them. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will leave the products that I mentioned, their links in the description box below. And that's it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.